Hi everyone, how are you? So it's been a while since I was able to reach out. A lot has happened. Good, bad, both. We're still, of course, on our quarantines for this pandemic and all that going on, which is fine. Learning to survive through it. Been trying to cook new things. I am going to do a second video about a couple of things I made. I'm going to remake them and show everyone how I did it, give credit to the recipes where I got them from, and go from there. So my notes below are here on the table this time, so it's a little bit different set. First thing is, since my last update is I had my ultrasound that I was waiting for. I didn't take any pictures or any videos while we were there because of the way everything was being with the quarantine. I didn't really have the ability to. I went, of course, masked, and they took my temperature when I got to the hospital. She asked me where I was going, and she sent me there. I went down to the imaging area, and they had chairs turned backwards so you couldn't sit in them, and we were spaced pretty distant, so it was very helpful to keep social distancing there. So that was a good thing. I wasn't too worried. I went into the room. The ultrasound tech had a mask on and gloves, of course. I had my mask on. I didn't have gloves on. I laid down on the bed. I was fully dressed, just lifted up my shirt. She ultrasounded my pancreas, my gallbladder. I'm not sure what else she did. I don't have the results to those yet. I get them. I see the doctor on the 21st again of May. So I don't have any results until then for what the ultrasound found. So I haven't gotten a phone call, so I'm going to go with they were good results. The second thing that happened since my last update was I had another nutrition appointment, and this was with the dietitian. It wasn't with the nutritionist. I saw the dietitian this time, and her name is Lauren, and she is fabulous. I fell in love with her the minute we started talking. We talked about protein shakes and how I needed to start testing out some protein shakes and finding out what would work when I go on the all liquid portion of the procedure, which is I believe just before the procedure and then a short time after. So I bought two different kinds of protein shakes, and I've tried both of them. I had them as meal replacement for lunches, and both of them that I picked so far were really good. So I'm excited about that, and that'll be in my video that I post with my food video. I'm going to do a sub food video here probably over the weekend. So look for that to come up early next week. We also talked about some new foods I should try, and I told her that I was getting stuck because I couldn't find any recipes I could do. I cook a lot, but I didn't know how to make my food varied. So I was eating chicken and pork and chicken and pork and then fish and then chicken and pork and fish and then salad and green beans and spinach and broccoli, Brussels sprouts. And that's all I kept eating over and over and over. And I wasn't getting a variety, and I could feel that I was going to get bored soon. So she gave me a link to a couple of recipe sites and gave me some ideas. And then I went on Amazon and I found a cookbook. So I've got that coming. That should be here, well, soon, I hope. But in the meantime, she had given me a recipe while we were on the phone that day, and it was great. We were talking, and I was telling her that I'm not a sweet person. I don't go for chocolate and cakes and cupcakes and brownies and whatnot. I'm more of a chips and dip and nachos and such. I said, but from time to time, I want something sweet for a snack. So she told me that sugar-free Jell-O is basically should be like a go-to dessert when I need a dessert or a snack. So I went out and I bought a bunch of sugar-free Jell-Os, and I had a couple. I haven't had that many because, I don't want to indulge. And then I had gotten an air fryer to try and cook a little bit healthier. I don't deep fry. I always oven bake, but I figured an air fryer could be fun. So one of the recipes she mentioned was taking tortilla chips and you take a tortilla, like you're going to make a wrap or a taco or burrito or whatever, and you cut it up. I found a recipe for it. You cut it up, you put it, you baste it with a little bit of oil, a little bit of salt and pepper, and you put it in the air fryer. And I had nachos. I ate them with a little bit of avocado. I just mushed up garlic in the avocado, and I had a nice little snack the other day. Actually, that was part of my lunch. I had that and tuna. So that is awesome. I'm so excited. That was awesome. I'm so excited. I've got all kinds of new foods I can try. And then after the appointment with the nutritionist, we did have some bad news. We ended up having to put our older dog down. She got very sick in the beginning of March, and we nursed her as long as we could, but the decision came that we were going to put her down. So I reached out to the dietitian and I said, can you please help? It's going to be a long couple of days and I don't want to have a bad couple of days. So is there anything you can do to help me? So she emailed me 2 really good recipes. I made both of them so far. And they were awesome. Again, I'm going to remake them so that I can post them for you because they were so good and they were so healthy and they were so filling. It was great, but it was 2 different kinds of lasagnas. One with spaghetti squash and one with zucchini. So we got through the hard weekend of putting our dog down and I survived. I will admit, I did after I left the vet's office. And Eliza and myself and our other dog, Marcia, we went and we indulged in an ice cream cone. I didn't eat the whole thing, but I was very upset. So I did have a very bad day. But you know what? With this process, good days and bad days are going to be there. So you got to figure it out. Bariatric place that I'm going with, the Samaritan St. Peter's Bariatrics. They have a private Facebook page where the doctors reach out, the nutritionist, the behaviorist, they're all reaching out to the patients who are on Facebook, and we can communicate and talk. It's a private group, so you've been on Facebook, I'm sure. You know how they work. So it's great. I've gotten a lot of good ideas and a lot of stories off of there. But every couple of days or every week or so, they have support group meetings, and one of the requirements for the procedure is to go to a support group meeting. So it was in the middle of the afternoon. I was home because I'm not working, and I logged into the Zoom meeting, and I went. It was a great meeting. It was about self-sabotage, and this all happened a day or 2 after we ended up putting our dog down. So it was great because, you know, I was feeling really guilty about going out for getting ice cream, and hearing these other people talking in the meeting, I realized I'm not the only one who was having problems. So it was great to hear. It was great to hear other people's stories and their stressors and their issues that they're having with this as well. Made me feel like I wasn't alone in this. So that was great. That was a fun meeting. There's another one coming up on the nutrition end, I believe sometime this week. So I plan on joining that one as well. So that was great. The greatest news of the time since my last video is, according to my home scale, I have made it to goal weight. It's my home scale, so I can't tell you how accurate it is or isn't, but it's the one I've been using since the beginning of the whole corona. When I went to Dr. McDonald the first time, he had given me a weight that he wanted me to work my way to. Before we could even talk about the surgery. Well, I made it. I weigh myself every Thursday morning, and this past Thursday, I did it. I met my weight. I was so proud. I'm so excited. I reached out to the office knowing that there were people there, but of course they're not seeing patients in the office right now. And I told them that I had made my at-home scale, was reading that I was at goal weight, and I didn't know what was next. So she said, do you have your appointment with with a cardiologist? And I said, I have the appointment scheduled for the beginning of June. Then I also need to do an endoscopy, which is where they put the camera down your throat and they look at my esophagus and my stomach lining to make sure that I don't have any problems with that before we go into the procedure. Yeah. So look for a video again on early in the week. I'm going to do a bunch of cooking this weekend, I hope. Get a bunch of these recipes that I've been doing out. Have a great day, and I hope good health to you all.